The Philippine Navy (PN) continues to expand its capabilities as part of the AFP Modernization Program, becoming a component of the Philippine Armed Forces (AFP) naval war. With naval warfare and naval defense becoming multidimensional, the PN is trying to gain new capabilities to offset the additional responsibilities and reach that has begun to overlap with the responsibilities of other AFP branch offices. Let's discuss one of the most secret asset acquisition projects of the Philippine Navy, which is actually not part of the Php300 Horizontal Phase 2 priority project, which was approved in principle by President Rodrigo Duterte in June 2018. This is actually one of 7 projects that reached the milestone of October 2019 when senior leaders of the Department of National Defense (DND) held their roundtable discussions. Little is known about this project because it is one of the most secretive Philippine Navy projects. Since their failure at the frigate acquisition project, the leadership of the Philippine Navy has become more reclusive in their current acquisition project to avoid being exposed in the event of another failure during the procurement phase. The Coastal Air Defense Missile Systems (SBADMS) acquisition project is intended to give the Philippine Navy an air defense capability to protect its assets on land or in ports. This includes naval or naval bases, and naval or marine-based assets such as anti-ship missile batteries and marine units. The preferred system is the medium-range, surface-to-air missile system, which can be self-propelled, preferably on a wheeled platform rather than tracked. The choice of mobility requirements will enable the system to move faster and more efficiently through the road network, with partial off-road capability, without the need for tank carriers. The range is said to be at least 40 kilometers, although a longer range is expected to have stronger preferences. At medium range, the air defense missile system will make it possible to maintain high-value assets and units under a larger umbrella, with short-range missile systems in the future that may be added later to provide better coverage in all range brackets. Max Defense's initial information shows that the budget allocated for the SBADMS acquisition project is around Php 9.8 billion, which is bigger than PAF's GBADS acquisition project. But this can still change considering the Philippine Navy is now experiencing problems in getting enough funds for other projects such as the submarine acquisition project, which is expected to be the most expensive naval project in Philippine history to date. In comparison, PAF-GBADS only has a budget of Php 6,866 billion, or 30% lower than the budget. It is very likely that the PN-SBADMS project will involve more shooting units or more ammunition than the GBADS-PAF project to justify the difference in the Php 3 billion budget in the budget. The Philippine Navy actually received the same offer as the Philippine Air Force for their acquisition of a ground-based air defense system, GBADS. Given that the requirements are almost the same for both PAF-GBADS and PN-SBADMS projects, the sources have mentioned that among these choices, Spider Ads Rafael is said to have the potential to lead because of the similarities with elections conducted by the Philippine Air Force for his GBADS requirements. Spider Mr., similar to what PAF wants for their GBADS requirements, is a variant that is expected to be offered because of the coverage requirements. Spider Mr. is a medium-range version of the Spider air defense system. It has a longer launcher because of the installation of a booster on standard I-Derby and Python V missiles, which makes it last longer. Coupled with IAI Elta Elm 208 4mmR3D AESA longer radar that can detect, even outside the range of the missile system, the full potential of the missile can be realized. While Kongsberg's NASAMS defense seems to be a favorite, it is said to be the most expensive system in the list above, which will be detrimental in the selection process. The current push for U.S.-made weapons system has made this system more attractive to the Philippine Air Force due to the recent increase in U.S. support for allies to buy their weapons systems. The larger budget allocated to the project compared to the PAADGBADS is also a factor that allows the acquisition of more expensive systems, such as NASAMS, or the National Norwegian Surface-to-Air Missile System, uses a launch version of the Raytheon AIM-120 Advanced Range Air AMRAAM, Advanced Air-to-Air Missile, better known as a mid-range air-to-air missile. U.S. troops and their allies. Depending on the version of the AMRAAM missile being used, the range of the system can be below or exceed 40 kilometers. This will also depend on the radar supporting the system, which is usually in an MPQ-64 Sentinel F1 enhanced 3D radar, which has a maximum effective range of around 80 kilometers. The old version of the Sentinel radar has a short effective range of around 40 kilometers. Another strong competitor is LIG Next 1KM Sam Chulme-2 Iron Hawk from South Korea, which is said to be affordable, and is something to consider in the long run because the Philippine Navy also sees a naval version of KM SAM to be placed on warships of the ERA front. Even though it is not used by other countries, it still meets government procurement laws regarding the country of origin, South Korea, using the system. The KM SAM, developed by South Korea in collaboration with Russia's Almaz Design Bureau, is said to carry technology derived from Russia's S-350E and S-400 air defense missile systems. The KM SAM missile is said to have a maximum range of around 40 kilometers, although proposals are made to further expand the range of the missile, although the evaluation is said to be ongoing. These three air defense missile systems are said to be the expected air defense systems that might find their way to the list for different reasons. Of the three, Rafael Spider-Mister has the longest maximum range at 60 kilometers by installing additional boosters on Python V and I-Derby missiles to expand their flight range. The three air defense missile systems are said to be the best and easiest to operate for the Philippine Navy and Armed Forces of the Philippine Equipment System. Except for LIG Next 1KM SAM. They are widely used. Spider is used by Singapore, Vietnam, India and Georgia, while NASAMS by the US, Finland, Spain, Norway, Chile and the Netherlands. All three are movable and mounted on multipurpose trucks, including mobile firing units, command posts, sensors and support vehicles. NASAMS can also be removed from cellular units and installed as semi-fixed launch units, based on maximum coverage only. The Rafael Spider-Mister mid-range air defense system appears to have the advantage of being able to defeat air targets up to 60 kilometers away using an enhanced version of the I-Derby and Python V. Spider-Mister also benefits from being the system chosen by the Philippine Air Force for its own air defense requirements, which means similarity and compatibility in terms of operations, interconnectivity to the integrated air defense system, maintenance and support, training and logistics. Another advantage is that the Python V and I-Derby missiles used by AD's Spider are also being considered by PAF for use by combat aircraft, especially by the KFA-50PH Fighting Eagle fleet. Although NASAMS might also have the same advantage that the Philippine Air Force completed the acquisition multi-role fighters because aircraft selected from American manufacturers usually use AMRAAM as their medium-range air-to-air missiles. Both Spider-Mister and NASAMS are said to be easily integrated with PAF and the upcoming AFP Air Defense Network system, even though they are an asset of the Philippine Navy. But it remains to be seen whether the same can be said of the KM SAM Chulme-2, given that the South Korean military operates in the same NATO standard system as the US, the Philippines and other US allies. We believe that Spider-Mister, NASAMS and KM SAM will be a good addition to the Philippine Navy and the overall Philippine air defense system. Although we are more inclined to Spider-Mister and NASAMS for the reasons above.